Well, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another edition of the Garland Community Impact Podcast. Today we have Cesar Mateos here. He is a small business success manager with the Garland Chamber of Commerce. He's been there in this position about a year, and one of his initiatives has been the Garland Hispanic Business Association. So welcome, Cesar.
Welcome.
Yeah, thanks, Sheena and Mr. Jamie Miller for having me. Definitely a good opportunity to help spread the word of what we're doing.
And it's a great story. Why don't we start off? Why don't you give us a little bit about your background in any interest you have? You said you're a musician too, so why don't you talk about who you are, right?
He loves music.
Yeah. Well, my story, it's pretty long, so to make it short, I've been a musician since I was 4 years old.
Okay.
Got into professional production back in 2019, 2020. That's kind of when I realized music isn't something I want to do for the rest of my life, because I could either go into touring for the rest of my life or teaching music, and I didn't really see myself doing that. So I finished my degree at UTD Finance. I come from a very Hispanic household, so it's all like you pay everything cash, you pay everything yourself, you do it yourself. So through college, I paid my way through school. I always bartended, served, did different restaurants, a lot of high-end stuff. And I ended up working at Jasper's in City Line.
Okay.
A fantastic place. Unfortunately, it closed down now. But that's where I met Paul Mayer, my boss now. He became my regular. We built a really good relationship. He always asked me how I was doing in school, what my path was, and was always interested in kind of what I was doing in the background. And when I graduated school, so UTD makes you go through internships and work in the field before you graduate, so they know this is what you want to do, right? And I always work with nonprofits, small businesses, charities, and that's when I grew the passion for helping not the little man, but the real man. The real man is the one that's there. They need your assistance. They're going to answer you. It's not like the McDonald's and the Walmarts of the world, right? So that's when I grew that passion for working with small businesses and nonprofits and charities. I got the opportunity to work for JP Morgan. I did not want to be at a desk 9 to 5 and just do that repetitively. So when Paul Mayer came with this opportunity, I thought it was perfect. I interviewed, and that's how I ended up being the small business success manager.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And you've been there for a year, you said, right?
Yeah, a little over a year, about a year and 4 months. But it's really cool because that position is brand new to the chamber.
Okay.
There's been help for small businesses, but someone 100% assigned and designated for small business, that's pretty new. That's basically what I'm initiating.
Okay. And are there any small businesses that have like recently come to Garland or had been there a while and weren't really involved that you can pinpoint that you've been able to kind of help a lot in the city?
There's a few, but there's definitely a few that are slowly easing into it, right? Because with small businesses, you really have to push them. You really have to drag them. You really have to continue to invite them, right? So there's a few that we're in the process of really getting them involved in what the chamber does.
That's good. And that's kind of why we're doing the podcast, similar to what you're doing is, we're just trying to connect everybody. And by those connections, it helps them locally in Garland do business and be more successful just by connecting them with other partners in the community.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's kind of also, we saw that the small business community and the Hispanic community in Garland go hand in hand, right? They're both communities that are in need of help because Garland consists of small businesses and multicultural, different cultures, different ethnicities. So that's when we decided to initiate the Garland Hispanic Business Association, which really targets aiding and giving that support to Hispanic business owners.
So what would you, as you have been in the community, you've been doing this now for a year, a little over a year, and you've interacted, I'm assuming, with quite a number of people, small business owners and so forth. What do you say is the biggest hurdle that you're trying to overcome? What's your biggest challenge right now? And what can you do to help demystify this whole process of becoming involved?
The biggest hurdle is getting them to participate and want change. in order to do, to overcome that, we're working hard on outreach, on making people feel comfortable, giving people, holding our hand out so they are able to come and participate in a lot of stuff. We noticed that especially for like the Hispanic business owners, they're scared to attend networking events, workshops, or classes because they're scared they're not going to understand or fully, be able to get what they should out of these kind of events.
Sure. Well, within the community, the types of businesses, what types of businesses are you running into predominantly?
A lot of retail and restaurants. Garland is already known for the manufacturers. You have the Kraft Heinz, the Hatco, the Plastic Pack, they're known. But as far as small businesses, the vast majority of them are going to be retail, restaurants, or they provide a service. So like contractors, roofing, cleaning services, that kind of
And in terms of a tool chest, what things do you have that you're bringing to the table? Excuse me, that you're bringing to the table for them?
It really depends on where the business is and where they want to be. One of the main resources we use is SBDC, the Small Business Development Centers. They're kind of guides, mentors that help a business owner with the path of where they're at and where they want to be. They do mainly help startups with like the whole process of what you're going to need when you start a business. But SBDC helps a lot of people or connects them to the right person that will be able to help them. With small business, I also do cohorts. They're round tables, groups of 8 to 10 businesses meet once a month. The very first meeting consists of coming up with different topics that group wants to address. And for a year and a half, we address those topics. And they're really good brainstorming sessions for the businesses to bounce ideas off each other, answer each other questions. And it's built a lot of really good relationships and partnerships within them. So
wonderful. What do you consider unique about the Chamber's outreach versus previous city or chamber attempts that have happened in the past?
The Garland Chamber is very intentional. We do things with a purpose. Everything we do is very well thought out of, this is what we want to happen. This is who we want to reach out. And this is how we're going to make it happen, as opposed to, a lot of other organizations might host a seminar and they just pass out flyers with no specific audience, with no specific outcome to what this is going to be, right? So that's one thing the chamber really focuses on, is being very intentional.
Are your meetings or sessions or whatever you conduct, are they done at the chamber, or do you do them at different spots within the community?
Yeah, the round tables, the one that's monthly reoccurring, is at the chamber. As far as general information workshops, which the small business program has 2 a year, those we've done one at a local small business, we've done one at the Dallas College, and we're looking to do the next one at the library, just so it involves the whole community.
That's wonderful. We visited for a minute. Excuse my allergies today.
They're bad.
Yeah,
everyone.
we can laugh about it, but I've been fighting this for a couple of days. Just got back from Nashville, and it kind of started there. But one of the things, and I used the word a while ago, demystifying the process. I think there are tools that exist within the community for people to access, if especially people who truly want to get involved or just avail themselves to the various assets that are within the city. The school district, I know, has a night school, an evening school, and don't let the name fool you, but it has to do with teaching English, so to help break down the walls of the language barrier. We had a guest in here,
Sophia?
One of our first guests, Sophia Nunez, who her and her charity are really involved in breaking down the wall with the language barriers and helping Hispanic families primarily with the whole process of school, with the whole process of graduating, with the whole process of
the
grants, scholarships, student loans. It's such a hard thing to do if you're not versed in English very well. So there's assistance set up all over town. Are you finding the same thing necessary within the business community?
Yes. So the main thing is you have to work on to be able to reach out to this community is outreach, right? That's the main focus on getting people involved is outreach, because there's a lot of things going on and there's a lot of things you might want to do, but the most important thing is getting out to them and in a basic way of saying it, convincing them that what you're bringing to them will be good for them.
So on the Garland Hispanic Business Association, how did you guys come about with the board? And then do you guys discuss topics? Because I know you guys have seminars. So kind of who's on that board from the community? And then with those seminars, what are you guys covering and trying to get more businesses involved, more details on it?
Yeah, so the Hispanic Business Association was something that Karina had in mind for a very long time. Unfortunately, she was the only one that spoke fluent Spanish in the chamber, in the office. So when I came aboard, we really talked about it and kind of made it more of a reality and really went through with it. She brought the opportunity and the idea to me, at least at the beginning of the year, when she was like more serious. Okay, we're going to do this for real now. And then it took some time. We put together a committee. So the committee consists of a few leaders, Garland leaders. So we have Gabriela Zuniga. She's with the Dallas College.
Okay.
Rudy Palma. He works in digital media. Really reaches out to the Hispanic community. Veronica Rivera. She works with Credit Union of Texas, and Roxanne Bankhead. She's also in outreach, right? She used to do what I do with small business, but in the Dominican Republic.
Okay.
Wow. And yeah, she's not Hispanic, but she speaks perfect Spanish. And so her having the background with small business and growing up in Garland, we were like, okay, you're perfect to help us out. So that's kind of who the committee consists of. And then obviously Karina and I.
Okay.
And so what we did was basically how it happened was we put our committee together. We had our first meeting, and our first meeting, we talked about what we wanted to accomplish with the Hispanic Business Association. And then we very fastly jumped into what are we going to bring to them and what topics. We were very fortunate enough to partner up with SCORE Mentors. And they've been providing the topics for the past 3 workshops, and they will through October. So it was kind of like a partnership, providing a series of 6 workshops. Consisting of help with artificial intelligence, how can you apply it to your business to make your life a lot easier, to working on your business plan, understanding financials, how to market your business, all that good stuff.
Okay. And is it complimentary to the businesses, or do they have to be a member of the chamber or a member with you guys to be able to attend the workshops?
No, it's 100% free.
Okay.
We really want the least amount of obstacles as possible, right? So a lot of times money can be an issue. We don't want that to be a reason why they don't attend. We went around and asked, okay, what times, what days do you think would work best for you? So we've thought of everything of making the least amount of obstacles as possible.
No, that's really good. And I'm sure obviously when they're attending these events, just being able to network with those other businesses is opening doors and connections, and, where they can communicate with each other on, paths that they've gone on with their business and strengths to help them with.
Yeah, and they've noticed that too within each other. Like the meeting yesterday, the business owners, we give them a chance to stand up, tell their name, and then say what the name of their business and what they do. And just looking around the room, you could start a whole new building with that, because you have the contractors, you have the cleaning people, you have the finance, you have the advisors, you have the insurance. So it's really eye-opening for them, seeing, okay, I don't need to go out and look for all these resources. If I have this community, it's all right here, right? And they're trusting enough to join chamber stuff, so I should trust them enough to be able to work with them and partner up with them.
So do you see opportunities for that group to start networking with other groups within the city?
Yes.
Some examples of that.
Yeah, we talked with a lot of people of how did you hear about us? What else do you attend? And our group consists of the surrounding cities, so like Irving, Forney, Mesquite, Garland, obviously, and Dallas. Even though Dallas is like very generic and it's the DFW, but the Dallas area.
Sure.
And they were all going to networking events in like the middle of nowhere, like going out to Fort Worth, Grand Prairie, super far, and trying to build networks and connections there. And when it came to doing business with them, because they were so far apart, they were having issues following through with that transaction, right? And that's an example that a lot of people have given me is, okay, now I have a community here, and I know we can expand from here because this is very central, right? So if we go from here, we're able to expand out and reach out to other people and build relationships and network with other people around, as opposed to starting out far out and then trying to bring it here.
Perfect. And obviously for anyone who's watching, is there opportunities, like if y'all ever need sponsorships, or if there's anyone, like if you need Jamie to come in and certain stuff with banking, or, you know, me with LinkedIn, social media, are you guys looking for any material where people in the community who are watching could volunteer time to come with some of the seminars?
Yes, we eventually want to involve a lot more other businesses, get them all to be known and part of that community. For now, because it's very new and it's something we just initiated, we try to set ourselves up for success, right? So the least amount of things we have to deal with, right? Because our focus right now is getting these people in. So yes, we eventually want to have sponsorships. We want to have partnerships. We want to have different presenters. We want to utilize the local businesses to present their topics, right? That's definitely something we will be doing starting next year. For this year, because we wanted to have something set, have that help, and really focus on getting everybody informed. That's why we partnered up with SCORE, because they were very, very helpful, and they offered to help us bring these presenters and topics to us. So yes, later on, we do want to have the sponsorships, the different presenters, the different opportunities. But once we get everybody kind of, okay, this is something that is worth me coming to.
Yeah, acclimated, and they're like, okay, I want to attend this. Are you guys doing seminars once a month right now?
Yes, once a month. The first 3 were on the second Tuesday of the month. I believe starting August, they're going to be on the third Tuesday. But if you would like more information on that, we'll definitely post something up at the end of this.
And do y'all have a link on the chamber site right now?
Yes.
And we can link it at the end of the podcast.
Yeah. But we have a website that describes what our goal is and what our mission is for the Garland Hispanic Business Association, and kind of what it takes to be a member of it. We say member because when we think of a member, we think of somebody that will come to our workshops and really be involved. And because we're not charging, right? So we're not like charging a member fee. So for us, a member is somebody that's truly involved in.
Yeah, stay connected and engaging with other members.
So there's all that information on what being a member is, the benefits, and what the mission for the GHBA is.
That's amazing. Yeah, and I love the Garland Chamber because obviously at Planet Ford, I was over this community role, and they have Leadership Garland. And I didn't really know anything about the community or the schools or kind of, a lot of contacts. So I did the program, and that instantly just, put me in everywhere. And that's kind of how we've grown all of the events with the community and connections, and just that grassroots marketing and networking is huge in our city.
Yeah, it's definitely about causing awareness, right? And giving people that knowledge of, hey, this is what is out there and this is what's available. Because if you sit in a corner and you don't turn around, you're never going to know, right? So it's really about being part of, like you said, you did Leadership Garland, and it really opened up like your eyes to, oh my God, this is all that's out there. So
it's like you don't know what you don't know.
You
right?
don't know what you don't know. And that's one thing I preach to small businesses. And that's how I get them to come to our workshops is you don't know what you don't know. You might have no idea on the topic of P&Ls for your business, right? And then they attend, and then they're like, okay. And then that gets them asking themselves more questions, and then more, and then more. And so you don't know what you don't know.
Yeah, and the GHBA is basically, connecting those. And I didn't even get to tell you about it yesterday, but I had lunch with Lestra at TDECU Credit Union, and they sponsor the boxing event and the police event. And she starts talking to me and she goes, Sheena, we have these $2,000 scholarships that we give to high school seniors, and all they have to do is be a member of the bank. It's free, and they get a $50 to sign up. And she goes, guess how many people in the DFW market signed up last year to try to get a scholarship? 0. And I'm like, that's money for the kids. So it's just I connected her to Sophia, and Sophia's helping about 50 to 60 high school seniors in Garland ISD to complete these applications for college. And I'm like, hey, have all your kids apply.
That's a perfect connection. That's a great connection.
So it's like what you guys are doing. It's just connecting those right people to help be successful.
Yeah, outreaching and informing, right? Letting people know, hey, this is all that's available. And then that gets people curious and then wondering what else is available. But it's really about getting the word out of what's available.
Yeah, and it's just so nice to hear of other companies that have programs like this available. I didn't know about it. I couldn't have told anyone about it, but now I know. And especially within the financial community or any of the communities, it's not a commitment. I'm sorry, it's not a competition. It's a commitment.
Yes.
We're all here to serve, and there are so many different ways to do that. It helps when you have feedback and you can get better at what you do. And so I was just so anxious to hear from you today, to be honest with you, because I know that over the years, and I've been involved since 1981, which is 100 years ago, in various chamber outreaches for various community groups, they have kind of come and gone. Mm-hmm. So I have the no pressure or anything, but we have all the confidence in what you're doing now, especially with your leadership. The skill sets that it takes to start something from nothing are basically everything. But hopefully in a couple of years, you'll look back and it'll be something that you're going to be really proud of because it helps people. It truly helps people. So the usefulness of it, I can tell you from experience and having interviewed with and sat with tons of small business owners. The whole thing about, showing them things that they didn't know that will help them be more efficient or better or make a different connection. The networking part of this, to me, is one of the biggest things ever. I was blessed my whole career to just kind of be able to fall into various networking groups that help advance my entire career. I had mentors. I had all of that. And I'm assuming that as your group develops, you're going to have mentors. You're going to have your network connection groups. You're going to be able to connect people to things they need and help people, grow their revenues and those kind of things. And for small businesses, it's all about getting from you're at, point A and you want to get to point B. And so many times they don't know how to get there.
Exactly.
And or they go the wrong way.
Yes.
They go the wrong way. They do the wrong things. And, people like me, I've had my rear end kicked on both cheeks through my career by making mistakes. And one of the things I try to do is just keep people between the ditch, especially financially, because I do get between the ditches. I do get to talk to a lot of people at a lot of different points within their career or within their company's history and development. And, there are things that generally work and things that generally don't. That's going to be the name of my book someday if I ever write one. And it's true. And it doesn't matter what kind of business you're in. There are certain things that generally work. And for you to have a group like yours that can give people that kind of access to information, I think is great. The fact that you're having seminars, I think is wonderful. That's a need that is out there. So, we can both congratulate you for that.
Thank you.
Do you have any events that are coming up that you want to talk about?
Yeah, so we have our August workshop. It's going to be, again, with SCORE mentors. So that topic's going to be artificial intelligence. They kind of talked about it a little bit on yesterday's workshop, where doing a lot of financial stuff, you could make it a lot easier if you use the technology that's available right now. And so I feel like a lot of businesses would benefit from the technology available and the different artificial intelligent robots that are able to help you with making your life a lot easier. So we have that workshop. We have one for the next couple months through October. And then from there, we're going to evaluate and see what we're going to be doing for 2026. And so what those topics are going to be about.
Wonderful.
That's perfect. I was going to say too, if you come across anyone in the group, any business that you think would love to come on the show as well, we're featuring businesses in Garland, Rowlett, and Sachse. So if there is someone you could think of that would want to come on the show.
Definitely. I'm sure there's a lot of them because, the key to growth is outreach, right? And getting the word out and giving people knowledge of what it is you do and what you're doing and why you're doing it.
Yeah.
Definitely.
And that was our goal, obviously, with the podcast is, we volunteer our time. We have sponsors that cover just the minimal cost for recording. Mm-hmm. And then these small businesses and nonprofits are able to take, this video and put that out on their social media, put on their website. Or like we mentioned, when you're reaching out to different companies that want to come to your seminars, you can link the podcast where they can learn more about you guys and get more outreach, more involvement, and lead to more success for them. So,
yeah, no, and we definitely thank you for this opportunity because like I said, again, it's all about outreach, and we want our efforts and what we're doing to stay, right? We're really thinking about what the end outcome for these businesses is going to be and how it's going to impact them and then the incoming small businesses. It's not for selfish reasons. It's not for just trying to do stuff. It's really for trying to see results for everybody else to see results. So having opportunities like these to educate people and spread the word is something that's definitely going to be very helpful for the community.
Oh yeah, and I just celebrated my 10 years at the dealership, and yay!
Maybe you'll give me a discount on a new truck.
Yeah, hey, we can make it happen. But I have noticed, and you can probably speak for Wheels of Hope as well. But when we do, the boxing event, it's amazing how many small businesses step up and sponsor these big events in Garland, and you're like, wow, it really is about the small businesses that come together to make these events happen.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, especially with the surrounding areas, but Garland in particular, right? You drive down any street, 90% of the businesses are going to be small businesses. Yeah, you'll see the occasional McDonald's just because they're everywhere. Chick-fil-A, I think there's only one in all of Garland, but you can find way better a chicken sandwich at a local mom and pop shop, right? So it's really about the small businesses and helping grow the Garland economy, right?
Yeah, and even the family restaurants. I mean, we always run into each other at Main Street Cafe because we're both there like once or twice a week, but just supporting the family owned and the local and the small business. I know so many individuals in Garland are doing that.
Yeah, and that's what it's all about. It's all about helping each other up, right?
Yeah, and we've run across the same theme, whether we're in Rowlett or Sachse or Garland or any of our communities that we're focused on with this podcast. It's much the same. I much prefer going into the family-owned, non-McDonald's type of restaurants for everything that I do, because to me it's just a slice of life that you're not going to get when you walk into a Burger King or what have you. So it is to me, it's one of the joys of being in communities like ours, is you have that kind of character within it, and it is well on focus. If you go to downtown Garland, Rowlett, or all through Sachse, it is on display, and so for your effort, for what you're doing with the Garland Hispanic Business Association, your involvement with the chamber, we do have the ability to convert this to Spanish.
That would be great.
And we can talk. We can talk after the podcast, and if that's something you would like to do, if you think it would help you in your efforts to do that.
Yeah, definitely.
Then we'll set about either finding a sponsor, or by hook or crook, we'll find a way to get this into. It'd be dubbed as an AI program that we have that we can use to convert to Spanish. We also have one we can do with Vietnamese if it's necessary. And the purpose for that is we want to bring the whole community together. And we do have a very diverse community, and everybody realizes it. And the podcast here, I don't know if Shin and I completely thought it through because we talked about it probably one day at Main Street Cafe that, in absence of other effective media and ways to get the word out about all the great stuff happening in our communities, we wanted to do a podcast. Nobody told us that we couldn't, so we did it, right?
Well, and I always find, I always relate it back to the events we do, but, someone will post a flyer and, maybe there's a quick little video or a radio thing. And to me, when you're able to attach that link and someone is physically able to watch and say, match a face to the name and hear other people talking about the organization, I just think there's that confidence and trust that gets built and may give them a little nudge to say, hey, I want to go to that workshop that they're hosting after watching this. So that's why we really wanted to have the video portion
have
of
that.
it.
Yeah, have that outreach as okay, these people are genuine about what they're doing. It's not just somebody behind a computer scheming how to get these people involved for their benefit, right? It's really about being sincere and really wanting to see results for other people.
Right.
You scratch other people's back and then hopefully eventually they'll scratch yours. But it's about helping others out to help the overall community.
Yeah. And just the awareness, like he said, he wasn't aware. Obviously, this just started with you guys. And as we had the Garland 9th Street Gym Project, which is downtown Garland, right across from their bank, and literally didn't even hear about them until I had been working at the dealership for 7 or 8 years. And they're like, oh, yeah, it's right here. And I'm like, I've never even heard of this.
Yeah.
So it's like, if we're, prominent in the community and outreach, what other businesses and nonprofits are out there that nobody even knows about? Exactly. So that's why we're just trying to get more people on the show and spread more awareness for everyone.
More awareness for everybody, help each other out.
Yeah.
Certainly. So any ways that we can participate with y'all or help you.
Yes.
If it helps to have this converted to Spanish, then we will get that done and be glad to. And with respect to that, if you have events or if you have a calendar you want to send us, we'll tack it on to the end of our broadcast through the year. If you're having something you want the public to be aware of, you might go back to the chamber and have the chamber say, if they have a slide of chamber events that they want to focus that we can make the community aware of, we'll run it as a slide at the end of all of our shows. So let's just continue to think of ways that we can what's the word I use? Cross-pollinate, if you will.
Yes,
make sure that everybody is aware of what everybody else is doing. Again, it's about community awareness and the impact that people are having on the community, especially people that are doing good and positive things, like you've started here with the Garland Hispanic Business Association. And we're so glad you're here. And I'm so glad that Paul Mayer ate at Jasper's because he was able to meet you. And from what I've gathered for our little bit of time here today, you're a great asset for the chamber, and we are certainly glad to have you involved.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you very much. Anything you guys need, we're here. We're here for you guys. We're here for the community. So,
right. And again, do you have a plug, website, or email address or anything you want to make public? If not, we can get it later.
Yeah, well, you can find all the information at the Garland Chamber website, Garland Chamber of Commerce. If you have any questions, any ideas, any suggestions, don't hesitate to email me. My email is cesar.mateos@garlandchamber.com. We're more than happy to help you out, answer any questions, connect you with anybody you're looking to connect with. So,
right. And Cesar is a good dude. He didn't go to Garland schools. He went to Lake Highlands. We're not going to hold it against him. He literally got here as fast as he could. We want to thank you for being here and being part of our show, and keep us posted on ways that we can be helpful.
Yeah, definitely. We'll stay connected, help build awareness, and build that community stronger. So
excellent.
Perfect. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.